All right, guys, in today's video, we are going over late game and top tier, how to master it, my tips, how I approach things. And we do got a good one here, guys. A 6-kill game in total with the Grip and Eat, and a 1v4 late game where we have a Eurofighter camping our airstrip. So we're going to see how we actually win that fight, because that's where it gets tough, guys, in late game. But yeah, if you guys do enjoy the content, man, the videos, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It does mean a lot. It does support me, and I do appreciate it. And really, to get into the video here, before we get to late game, I'm going to go over 5 things or 5 tips that I would say are the biggest things to know and get good at for late game here. So the first is going to be forcing players on the defensive. So again, we'll see examples of that throughout the late game here. But whether that be somebody camping our airstrip, making them get on the defensive so we can create space, or even just forcing players on the defensive when it's in a 1v1 situation. So very, very important that you're able to do that. Second thing is creating isolation or creating 1v1 situations in late game, because you do not want to be in a situation where it's a 2v1, 3v1, 4v1, and you start getting shot at from multiple different angles. That is not good, guys. You want to create it so that you're in a 1v1 situation. You don't have to worry about a different missile. Third thing is altitude is king, right? You want to gain altitude. Altitude is such a big advantage. The biggest mistake I see with players in late game is they hug the deck and they don't gain altitude. And then the fourth thing here is camping the airstrip. Go right or left, right? Don't head on the person or wherever the enemy's at. Go in a direction they are not. We'll see how I approach that again here in a second. And then the fifth thing is being able to notch. Guys, you need to know how to notch in top tier. You are never going to win anything late game if you don't know how to notch. So let me go ahead and fast forward here to where we actually start. All right, so yeah, as we land here, we do actually have 2 kills already here this game, as we saw earlier. And we're always checking our RWR here, so we can see there's 2 Eurofighters that are popping up in our RWR behind us. So that gives me the general sense that they could be camping the airstrip. As you guys can see, I'm trying to see if I can even see any of them. But obviously that is pretty far. And yeah, I'm just trying to get as much information as I can here before I respawn in. Unfortunately, my teammate there in the Eurofighter, I don't know what he was doing. He didn't actually do anything. Like, he didn't even take off, I don't think. So it was basically a 1v5 situation here. And as you guys can see, we have the Eurofighter camping the airstrip. He's just waiting for us to come out. And again, this is where we're going to implement some of those steps that I was going over earlier, or those 5 steps. So we can start to see in the radar he's turning our way. And again, we want to create space for ourselves. So what we're going to do here is we are going to fire a missile. And that's not a missile for us to get a kill. It's a missile to force him to play on the defensive and have to notch, right? Kind of lose his focus directly on us. He does the right thing by firing back at us, which I did already expect him to do. So we then have to go on the defensive as well. And again, like one of the other points I was going over earlier, when somebody's camping your airstrip, you want to do exactly this, guys. You want to create space so that you can gain speed. Because that's the biggest killer of somebody camping your airstrip, is you not having enough speed to do anything. And this also gives us the opportunity to start gaining altitude because we are going fast. As you guys can see in the bottom right, the 1 Eurofighter got killed by the airstrip. So could have made it a 7-kill game. But yeah, we do see an opportunity here to fire at this Eurofighter. And this is also an opportunity for me to start gaining altitude. So we are going to start, again, notching and slowly start gaining some altitude. And again, like the other point I was saying earlier, we look for isolation. We create situations where it's a one-on-one, where we don't have to worry about multiple things at once. That's going to be super, super key to winning the late game, guys. So again, we're going to start climbing a little bit, getting some altitude. And we can see a RWR, another F-15 is right here. So we do have to engage with this guy here. So he does shoot first. I do try to, again, my general rule of thumb is 18 kilometers for the 120As. But again, it just depends on the situation. And yeah, we're just going to, again, start notching. And yeah, really get the kill. So again, it's that 1v1 situation that has been created. Get the severe damage. And we're going to move on to the next opponents here. I think the last two guys were F-15s, if I'm not mistaken. And again, we can see them on the RWR here. We can see them on our radar. We can see both, actually, because the blind hunt switched to one of them. And again, this is where it gets a little bit tricky, right? Like I was saying earlier, we want to create situations where it is 1v1. But these guys here are kind of lumped together. So this could be a 2v1 potentially. So really the key, I would say, in these situations is to try to bring them together in the same spot. So you can do that either by pulling them towards you. So maybe going a different direction. So let's say if I went to the right and then both of them started chasing me. So that gives me an easier time to notch, right? Notching in the same general area is going to make a huge difference than me having to try to notch two different angles. So we can see both of them are generalized in the same sort of area from where we're facing 90 degrees. And we're keeping an eye on the other F-15 here. Just kind of notching this other missile. And we do get the kill. And we're going to go ahead and fire at this guy. Now, this guy was a spammer, guys. I'm not even going to lie. You'll see in a second. But this guy is not bad. I think this is the guy with 3 kills left on the other team. And, yeah, he starts firing. We're firing as well, right? And again, this is where altitude makes a huge difference, guys. Huge, huge difference. We get a critical hit. We're going to fire another one. And this is where he starts spamming. But again, basically, this guy lost this fight because I was higher altitude. I was in a better position. And this guy's having to rely on multipathing when I have my, you know, soft lock on him, data link, TWS, right? It's getting harder and harder to multipath, guys, and survive. So just keep that in mind. Again, like I said, the earlier thing I said was the biggest mistake I see players do in late game is hugging the deck. But yeah, that's it. That's the 6-kill game. Hopefully you find this video helpful. Let me know if you guys did find it helpful in the comments. And like I said earlier, if you enjoyed it or it was helpful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And we hit them with the easy in chat there, guys.